This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
The main accused in the murder of former DMK Minister Alladi Aruna set free by the Apex Court. The National Institute of Fashion Technology in a state of shock after a girl student hangs herself to death. Chief Election Commissioner S.Y. Qureshi plays spoil sport for Karnanidhi, says no to early polls in the state. The Income Tax Department stretches itself to help people file their income tax returns before the deadline expires. Superstar Rajnikant speaks exclusively to Ndtv-Hindu ahead of his magnum opus entrance order release at Kuala Lumpur.
What can your fans expect in Ndtv?
Excitement.
Sania Nehwal gets rewarded for her stellar performance. The government confers the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award on her. Well, those are the top stories we're following at this hour. Before we get you all of that, let's have a look at what's making the headlines across the country. The CBI submits its status report in the Sohrabudin case, wants the case to be transferred out of Gujarat. Curfew in Srinagar after security forces opened fire at stone-throwing protesters. 7 people injured.
Talking to our own people, what is the reservation? There is no reservation at all. We are willing to talk to our own people.
Humiliated by her classmates for cleaning toilets at her school, a 13-year-old girl in Uttar Pradesh kills herself. The Nepal Supreme Court rejects Charles Sobra's acquittal plea. He will stay in jail. Well, the top story we're following right now, the Supreme Court today acquitted S.A. Raja, the accused in the murder case of former DMK Minister Alladi Aruna. The court said the motive and conspiracy were not established by the state. S.A. Raja, who was sentenced to undergo double life sentence and who is in jail presently, will now be set free. Former Law Minister Alladi Arun and his friend were murdered during a morning walk in December 2004 near Tirunelveli. According to the prosecution, S.A. Raja had hired mercenaries to kill the former minister, following an ongoing dispute between them over managing their engineering colleges. A sessions court on April 17, 2008 had sentenced 2 persons to death, 1 to 3 years rigorous imprisonment, and acquitted S.A. Raja. However, Madras bench of the Madras High Court reversed the trial order and sentenced Raja to undergo double life imprisonment. And we were earlier joined by Mr. Vaidyanathan, the senior legal correspondent of NDTV 24/7.
The basic concept and the judgment today says that the prosecution, the Tamil Nadu police went on to argue saying that this is a whole conspiracy and there is a motivation because there are some misunderstanding in the administration of engineering colleges held by Mr. Raja as well as by Alladi Aruna. But today Supreme Court said that there is a benefit of doubt. This conspiracy theory as well as the motivation theory, there is no evidence and there is a benefit of doubt. So based on the benefit of doubt, and Raja has been acquitted today. Of course, the trial court also had earlier in 2008 acquitted him of the charges, but the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court reversed that order and sentenced him to go double life imprisonment, but that will run concurrently. So he has appealed it in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court almost a year the case was there in between. The Supreme Court cancelled his bail and he came to Supreme Court for shifting him to some private hospital there in Palayam Kota for treatment. Of course, it was allowed. After that, he was shifted to jail. So today, the Supreme Court making it clear that Raja's acquittal saying that the Tamil Nadu police failed to establish the conspiracy as well as the motivation theory.
Right, just 2 days after taking over as the new Chief Election Commissioner, S.Y. Qureshi has played spoil sport for Chief Minister M. Karnanidhi. Well, how, you may ask? Qureshi has said no to early polls in Tamil Nadu. Assembly elections for Tamil Nadu are scheduled to be held next year when the term of the present government expires. There were speculations doing the rounds that Karnanidhi would want to go for early polls by dissolving the assembly to capitalize on recent electoral gains in Pennagaram and Tiruchendur, and also given the fact that Amma is down in the dumps. However, that move will have to be put on the back burner after Qureshi's categorical rejection of such a scenario. Well, a 20-year-old girl studying second year at the National Institute of Fashion Technology in Taramani has committed suicide. The girl was found hanging at her hostel today. We have those details, in fact, with us. For more, let's go across to Salim, who joins us on the phone line right now. Salim, if you can hear me. Well, we'll get across to Salim in a bit. Right now, we're having some trouble with the audio, but let us just tell you the news that we broke. Just 2 hours back, the National Institute of Fashion Technology is in a state of shock after a girl committed suicide by hanging herself in the hostel room she was lodged in. No details are yet emerging on what the causes of this suicide might be. The police have not even given the full name of the girl who's committed suicide. All we know right now is that the girl is from Odisha. We'll be tracking that story, of course. NIFT is in a state of shock. We'll get you more details as they come pouring in. Well, in another tragic incident, 2 students from a village in Sivagangai district were crushed to death when the wall of the bathroom of the school they were studying in collapsed. While one student was studying in the 6th standard, the other was studying in class 7. Reports suggest one more student was injured in the collapse. Well, Emil Bright, the correspondent of Kodaikanal Public School, accused of molesting a class 9 student last month, has now been granted bail by a court in Dindigul. The Tamil Nadu police had announced that Emil Bright is guilty of molestation. A magistrate court had recorded statements of 9 students on molestation charges. This came to light when one of his own students complained. Subsequently, both the correspondent and the principal of the school were arrested. Well, with just 1 day to go for the deadline to file income tax returns for employees all over, there are a few employees who are feeling extremely taxed. No, not the paying ones, but the ones who are helping collect your Form 16, the staff at the income tax office. For instance, in the Ningambakam IT office, it seems that the number of persons filing it on the last day could even go beyond 2 lakh. Take a look.
You can see that officials are overworking to ensure that there are no complaints. But there are complaints, not necessarily on filing, but on lack of information, delay in refunds. The scene at the IT office could be quite intimidating for ordinary people who want to file the returns on their own.
More than 400 tax assistance vacancies are lying here. In spite of 30% vacancies in lower cadres, more than 30%, and more than 60% in higher cadre in our department. Still we are interested to this type of special counters and all.
It's a fact that there are large vacancies in almost all cadres, but to meet these special exigencies, we are doing extra work, and all of us officers as well as our staff, they are working even on holidays, they are working extended hours.
The lack of display boards in Tamil seems to be a big issue.
சாதாரண அளவில் உள்ளவங்க கூட ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. இப்போ அவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து தமிழில் எந்த இடத்துலையும் ஒரு அறிவிப்பு இருந்துச்சுன்னா எந்த இடத்துக்கு போகிறதுங்கிறது சொல்கிறதுக்கு நல்லாயிருக்கும். தமிழ்நாட்டில் அந்தந்த ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு அந்தந்த ஸ்டேட் மொழியினுடையது முக்கியத்துவம் தரணும்.
The special counters for various sections of people has really helped ease the process of filing.
Last 4 days of filing IT returns account for nearly 50% of the total filings. It is quite a tough task for the 1,000-odd employees at the IT office here in Chennai. Peer Mohammed, Ndtv-Hindu.
Right, let's move on to some national news now. After the Gujarat right cases, it could well be the turn of the Sohrabuddin fake encounter case to be transferred out of Gujarat. Ndtv has learned that the CBI in its status report to the Supreme Court has asked for the Sohrabuddin fake encounter case to be shifted out of the state as it feels the investigation cannot be carried out in a fair and impartial manner. Sources say the CBI has also asked the Supreme Court for more time to complete its investigations. It's also learned that the CBI will investigate the fake encounter of Tulsiram Prajapati. Now, that was the man who allegedly witnessed the killing of Sohrabuddin. NDTV has also learned that in its status report, the CBI has pointed to the involvement of more politicians and cops, not only in Gujarat, but Rajasthan as well. Time now to take a look at what else is making headlines across the country. This is your 60-second news capsule of what's happening across India. Take a look.
The CBI has said the Shorabuddin fake encounter case should be moved out of Gujarat to ensure a fair trial. It also said it will need 3 months to complete the investigations. Mother of British teenager Scarlett Keeling is back in Goa to depose before investigators probing the death of the girl on a beach. The woman Fiona has accused the Goan police of a massive cover-up in the murder. The issue over rising prices rocked Parliament today for the 4th day. A united opposition has demanded a discussion. Both houses have been adjourned till Monday. Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram has said it will take 3 years to defeat the insurgency by Naxalite guerrillas. The minister is facing sharp criticism over a string of attacks by the rebels on paramilitary forces. Kolkata model Dimpy Ganguly has walked out of her 4-month-old marriage to Rahul Mahajan over domestic violence. They married on a reality show in March this year. She alleged that Rahul punched, kicked and dragged her by the hair.
Well, time for us to slip into a very short break. Up on the other side, Charles Shobraj will not be out of jail anytime soon.
What can your fans expect in Ndtv-Hindu?
Excitement.
On the other side, also, we bring you that exclusive with Superstar Rajni.